Moji's Special Hands author, Bernice Oyelecki.
This storybook was sponsored by Luminous Deaf Scholastic Initiative Copyright 2020.
Moji was a happy little girl who lived with her family in Lagos, a big city in Nigeria. She often smiled and danced, but there was something different about Moji. She couldn't hear like other children. When Moji was a baby, her mommy and daddy didn't know she couldn't hear. They would call her name, but Moji wouldn't look at them or answer them. They took her to a doctor, and the doctor said that Moji had a condition called hearing loss, which meant she couldn't hear. At first, her mommy and daddy were sad because they didn't know how to talk to her. They hoped things would get better. But they soon learned that even though Moji couldn't hear with her ears, she could see with her eyes. They needed to show her things to help her understand. When Moji turned 3, she started going to a special school for deaf children. The teachers helped her learn how to talk using her hands. They showed and taught her how to communicate through another language called signed language. Signed language is when people use their hands and fingers to talk instead of their voices or speech. Moji liked learning new things using signed language. At home, Moji's family didn't know how to sign at first. When she was hungry, Moji would point at her tummy, and when she didn't feel well, she would touch her neck with the back of her palm. She wanted to say so much more, but her parents struggled to understand her signs. Moji was a very friendly child, but when she played with other children at home, they didn't fully understand her because of her speech difficulty. Gradually, her brother and sister started learning some signed words from her to help them communicate with her. Though Moji was deaf, she loved to dance. Moji couldn't hear the music with her ears, but she could feel the beat. When she danced, she felt so happy. She twirled and spun, and her mommy and daddy loved watching her dance. One day, Moji's mommy said, "We need to learn signed language so we can talk to Moji better." Her daddy agreed. Soon, her whole family, her mommy, daddy, together with her brother and sister, knew signed language. They began using their hands to talk to Moji, just like her teachers did. At first, it was tricky, but little by little, they all got better at using signed language. Now, when Moji was hungry, she could sign eat, and when she wanted to play, she could sign play. Her family was so happy to talk with her using their hands.
Moji's family played with her more, and her brother and sister even danced with her. Moji wasn't alone anymore. She had her family to talk to her with their special hands, and that made her feel so loved.
Moji's world was full of signs, dancing, and lots of love. Even though she couldn't hear, she could feel all the love around her and communicate with people in her environment. About the author. Dr. Bernice Oyelecki is a passionate advocate for inclusion and early language access for deaf children. She is the founder of Luminous Deaf Scholastic Initiative. She is also an alumna of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and Gallaudet University, USA. Beyond her scholarly work, she is deeply committed to sharing knowledge from her research in ways that are accessible and meaningful to the wider community. This is her first fictional story.